Buried in your skull are the first 1,000 days of your life, learning to walk, to talk, to love, and you can't recall 1 second. Try it now. Reach for your earliest memory, and you hit a wall, right around age 3. Everything before it, gone. But gone where? Here's what makes it strange. Those forgotten years weren't quiet. They were the busiest your brain will ever be, the fastest you will ever learn. In them, you cracked language from nothing. You learned faces, gravity, the idea that you are a you, the heaviest lifting of your whole life. And your brain kept none of the receipts. The years you learned the most left the emptiest record. Every human alive carries this exact hole. For over a century, we thought we knew why. And the answer we quietly settled on turns out to be almost perfectly wrong. In 1910, Sigmund Freud gave the blank a name: infantile amnesia. His hunch, and ours ever since, babies simply don't form lasting memories. It felt obvious. A baby's brain is a work in progress, half-built, still busily wiring itself. How could it possibly file anything permanent? So that became the story. The tape wasn't erased. The tape was never recording. Nothing was lost, because nothing was ever really saved. There's just one problem with that tidy story. It's wrong. Because babies obviously remember things, all the time, right in front of us. A baby knows its mother's face. It learns which cupboard hides the snacks. It expects the peekaboo. That is memory, working, every single day. So the recorder is clearly on, which breaks the old answer and leaves a stranger question. The memories form, so where do they go? To find them, picture your memory as a vast library. Every experience becomes a book, written and shelved by a tireless librarian in your brain. That librarian is real. A seahorse-shaped structure called the hippocampus, whose whole job is turning today into a book you can find tomorrow. In an adult, the library is calm. The shelves stand still. The librarian writes a book, files it, and later walks straight back to it. But a baby's library is an active construction site. It isn't finished. It's being built while it's still being used. And that changes everything. Here's the strange part. To grow, the infant brain floods itself with new neurons, thousands a day, wiring into the library at furious speed. Every new neuron is a worker tearing out shelves and rebuilding them somewhere else. The whole floor plan gets redrawn, week after week. The librarian still writes the books. Experiences do still become memories. The recording never stopped. And that part, it turns out, Freud got completely backwards. But picture writing a book, shelving it, and overnight, the shelves move. The walls shift. The map you used to find it is gone. The book still exists. It's somewhere in the building, but the address is obsolete. The catalog rewritten in a language you no longer speak. This is the real suspect behind the blank. Not a recorder switched off. A library renovating faster than it could keep its own index. And it predicts something. If the books are truly written, then somewhere in there, your first steps and first words still sit on a shelf. Unread, not unwritten. For decades, that was just a lovely idea. Then researchers found a way to actually go looking. So they did. You can't rummage through a human memory, but in a mouse, you can. And a mouse forgets its infancy exactly the way we forget ours. So scientists taught baby mice a memory, a specific room, a mild scare, and watched the exact brain cells that lit up as it formed. They tagged those cells, a glowing marker on the neurons holding that one memory. Then they waited for the mouse to forget it. It did. Grown up, the mouse acted like the memory was gone. Back in the room, nothing. No fear, no flicker of recognition. Erased, it seemed. Then they cheated. Using a pulse of light, they reached in and switched those tagged cells back on directly, forcing the old memory to play. and the mouse froze, remembering. The fear came flooding back. The memory had never been erased at all. It was intact, just unreachable from inside. Lost and then found. Proof the book was still on the shelf. Which left the biggest question of all. Is the same true in us? In 2025, a team at Yale finally checked. They did something that sounds impossible. They slid awake, wriggling babies into a brain scanner. Babies from 4 months to 2 years, watching pictures, while the scanner watched their hippocampus, the librarian, live in the act of filing. And it lit up. When a baby's hippocampus fired harder at a new image, that baby remembered the image better later. Caught in the act. There it was. The infant brain does write the books. Freud's answer was backwards. The blank was never a recording failure. It's a retrieval failure. Sit with that. The memories of your first years may not be gone. They may be filed inside you. You've just lost the way back. Which raises the obvious question, why can't you look them up? You kept the books. What happened to your ability to find the shelf? Think about how you search your past. You reach with words, with places, with a sense of me back then. Those are your call numbers. But you filed those first memories before you had any of that. No language yet, no steady self, no index the grown-up you can read. You're an adult holding a library card for a child's catalog, written before you had words, in a hand you can no longer recognize. And here's the quiet proof it's retrieval, not storage. The blank has a movable edge. What you talk about, you get to keep. Children whose families ask, "What did you do today?" who retell the day in words, form earlier first memories. The catalog gets written together. So those unreachable years were never wasted and never truly empty. They are the foundation that everything else in you is standing on. In that blank, you built language. You learned that faces mean safety, that you are a self, the scaffolding that makes all later memory possible. You can't remember it for the same reason you can't recall laying a foundation. You were still becoming the person who could remember. And the books may still be there, not lost, shelved in a wing you can't yet enter, quietly shaping who you turned out to be. The blank isn't a void where nothing happened. It's a sealed archive of the years that made you. The recorder was always on. So next time a child tells you about their day, listen. You're not just passing time. You're helping write a memory that will last. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, subscribe. There's more where this came from.